Hi, this is James Hahn with Real Life Rosary, and this is a meditation on today's readings. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. Many of you remember that song from 1993, a very popular song, but if you're like me, it brings up images of Jim Carrey on Saturday Night Live with those guys cruising around with their heads bopping back and forth. Regardless, it's a good question. What is love? It's one of my favorite four-letter words that I like to use often. I like to throw around four-letter words like love and obey. I love the outdoors. I love the sunshine. I love the snow. I love the rain. I love Snickers. I love pizza. I love tacos. I love popcorn. I love homebrew. I love bourbon. I love my wife. I love my children. I love my house. I love my shoes. I love my dogs. I love my animals, I love hunting, I love sleeping, I love showering, I love comfy clothes. So all of these things that we love, but obviously we can't love them to the same degree equally. We love things differently. And I think that's a good place to start. What is love? We could ask ourselves, what are we willing to sacrifice of ourselves for that thing, for that object, for that person? What are we willing to give of ourselves for that? St. John Paul II said that the opposite of love is not hate, but use. The opposite of love is not hate, but use. Love seeks to give of oneself. That doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. It might hurt. But it's giving of oneself. So the opposite of love would be taking of another person. Using another person for your own pleasure. That would be the opposite of love. So love is an outpouring of self for or towards that object that we desire or that we love, that we want to share ourselves with. So I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of my time and my money for a Snickers bar. Especially one that's nice and warm, it's kind of been sitting in the car a little bit and melty chocolate. I'm willing to sacrifice for that. But I'm not willing to sacrifice my life for that. I'm willing to sacrifice my life for my wife or my children or my friends or family. But I'm not willing to sacrifice my life for a good homebrew. Most likely I'm not. So love is really our desire to do without, to sacrifice, and to pour ourselves out for somebody else. And that's what God is. God is love. And that's what He wants us to be too, because we're supposed to be like Him. In today's first reading, St. Paul is addressing these people and saying, we've had a council and we've decided that we're not going to put the burden of circumcision and other things on you. It's not about that. It's about love. It's about circumcising your heart, cutting away that oldness and putting on the new man of Christ. It's about love. It's about pouring ourselves out. Not signs, not symbols, not something in the flesh, not a tattoo, anything like that. It's about what's in here in the heart. And if we read further into the gospel, Jesus tells us the highest level of love. He says there's no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends. Or we may even dare say, to lay down one's life for an enemy. Right? And that's what He did while we were still enemies. So love, what is love? The question is that willingness to pour out ourselves for a desired object, or more importantly for a person. That's what true love is. And the ultimate love of Christ enables us to do that and brings us joy for doing that. So how can you love more deeply today? What are you willing to sacrifice for another person in your life? Are you going through struggles and pains? You have some sort of illness, a cold, cancer, anything like that. Are you willing to say, this stinks, but Jesus, I give it to you out of love for this person's conversion and reparation for my sins? Are you willing to sacrifice the bad habits that you have for love of somebody else? What are you willing to pour out today for somebody else? It's something to think about. I know I'll be thinking about it. This is James Hahn with Real Life Rosary. God bless you.